Hi, my name is Zachary Wiebe. I'm doing my project on the Gila monster. I chose this because I did a project on it when I was in third grade and I wanted to do more research on it. I think it's a really interesting species. The status is near threatened and the most recent assessment was March 1st, 2007. The geographic range is from the southwestern United States to northeastern Mexico, the core of the range being Sonora and Arizona. The habitat varies based on location, but ranges from desert grasslands, desert scrubs, which are kind of deserts with predominantly shrubs, and occasionally oak and pine oak woodlands. It's most common in rocky, wetter areas such as canyon bottoms, dry creeks, and mountain foothills in Arizona and Sonora. And in New Mexico and Utah, it's typically in rocky desert scrubs and they use burrows and crevices for shelter. They actually spend about 95 to 98% of their time underground. I would consider them habitat specialists. They're specifically adapted for these conditions. The biggest threat to the Gila monster is habitat loss, and it's by residential and commercial development and agricultural development. Other threats are like traffic from highways and roads, hunting, trapping, and invasive species. For use in trade, I couldn't find anything on the IUCN website, but from research, I found that their venom contains a hormone similar to a hormone we use to regulate insulin production and glucose levels. And so they actually studied that hormone and used it as a model to create a synthetic version for medication for diabetes. And I mean, obviously, there's also the pet trade. And there's a picture of Ozempic with a Gila monster. Um, the conservation actions in place, they're legally not allowed to be collected, and the areas of its habitat are protected in federal wilderness areas and national parks. Actions needed: more site protection and management, more research on population, history, use, and threats. Additional measures, I would say more education on Gila monsters and how to protect them, being more strict on human encroachment through development and illegal pet trade, as these are the biggest threats to the Gila monster. And here's a picture of a license plate that you can actually get in New Mexico. It's a program where the proceeds fund research, habitat enhancement, education, and rehabilitation for species of greatest conservation need. Just like a list of species they have in New Mexico. And the program has contributed over $2.2 million in the past decade. The population trend is decreasing. Some details: it has an estimated adult population in the thousands. It was never very abundant, and its numbers vary widely across the range. It's rarely seen as it is predominantly underground and hidden throughout the day, but it's pretty common in parts of Arizona and New Mexico, and it's usually about 5 Gila monsters per square kilometer. And populations have declined in the U.S. range by about little less than 30% and possibly more in Mexico. Then there's a picture of the Gila monster's skull, which I thought was really interesting because I never knew the bumps were actually from the bones. I thought that was just how their skin was. And that is my project. Thank you.